If weak sauce was a product, what would it taste like? Jello with too much water and only half solidified. Rice flour, canned water, and Mrs. Dash. Nothing, but it would somehow remove salt from a dish. Drippings from lettuce that got your hamburger bun all soggy. Hot ham water. Hot dog water. What was the very first movie to make you cry? My Girl. Selena, I was 8 when I watched it with my mom, thought it was a cool movie about a singer and bam. She's dead, then bang. My mom tells me it was all real including her dying. I left the room sobbing and cried for 2 days straight. Probably didn't help it was only a couple months after my own brother died, so I didn't understand death completely. Cannot watch that movie to this day without experiencing that fresh childhood trauma, my dudes. I can't remember mine, but I can remember my daughters. A Little Princess. Charlotte's Web. Bambi. What is something that is expensive, but only owned by poor people? Payday loans. Rent to own. Spoiler, you never quite own it. Single items of things that should be bought in bulk. Like single rolls of toilet paper. Barely scraping by paycheck to paycheck means buying bulk is sometimes impossible. Dental problems. Those impacted wisdom teeth are hella expensive. Bad credit. It is expensive to make someone comfortable enough to loan you money without them being certain you'll pay it back. Who is the stranger that you have only met once in your life that you still think about time to time? I met my husband's doppelganger once. The man looked exactly like my husband. I was someone at the hospital waiting for their medical transport to pick us up, and I saw who I thought was my husband across the street. My husband was supposed to be at work, so I was confused. I called out to him but he didn't respond. My patient and I walked over to him, but I stopped short a few feet away because I started to realize maybe it wasn't actually him. His clothes were different and this man was assisting someone in caregiving type role. My husband absolutely would not do that. The guy noticed me staring at him, and so I explained why and even showed him a picture of my husband. He swore that was a picture of him and this was all some practical joke. I had to show him pictures of my husband and I together for him to realize the pictures were not of him. This man could have been his identical twin. I often think of that encounter and how insane it was. I also think of the astronomical chances that not only did my husband have a doppelganger but that we lived in the same city for a while and I happened to cross paths with him. An old man I overheard telling his grandkids that if their dad got accepted to the job he was interviewing for in town, they would move there and then they could visit each other all the time. I never even saw the guy interviewing for the job, but I really hope he got it. What's a fictional language you wish you could speak? All of them. I want a babel fish. Elvish. Math. Finnish. Simlish. I've been playing those games for so long. I have to know what they're saying. Dwarven from Lord of the Rings. It's like Elvish, but meaner. Enchantment table language edit. Yes, I know it's the standard galactic alphabet. I forget what it was called, so I said enchantment table language. What celebrity tanked their own career and what's the story behind it? Definitely the judges who bullied the contestant on X Factor New Zealand. Rick Moranis. The guy from Ghostbusters, Honey I Shrunk the Kids, Spaceballs, etc. Not because he did anything wrong. He left Hollywood and let his career die because his wife died from cancer and he decided to focus on raising his kids. Stand up guy, hope he's doing well. CeeLo, he said there was nothing wrong with spiking women's drinks. O.J. Simpson. T.J. Miller, dude had a brain tumor removed a while back, taking out part of his brain, and then he got arrested for calling in a fake bomb threat in 2018. Absolutely nuked his career. What's the most badass thing you've done? I was young, probably 11. I had a kid try to tackle me from behind and I flipped him over my shoulder. It was freaking dope. I was sitting in a chair and I threw a gummy bear up and hit a really high ceiling and I caught it in my mouth without moving uncomfortably to catch it. That's where I peaked emo. I was pumping gas at a station with my sister, me being 19 at the time and her being 16, when a man, probably like 25 years old, got into the backseat of my car. I started to yell at him to get out of my car. My sister was shaking scared. He then pulled a gun on me and told me to get in the car and drive. Without even thinking, I started to make him question himself by saying, "Or what? Are you going to shoot me right here in this well-lit gas station? There are other people around. Did you really think this through?" He started to look around, called me a stupid bitch, got out of the car and ran off. Edit, spelling. Not my most badass moment, but once in 3rd grade, we were playing dodgeball with those iconic red rubber balls. And my 2 friends happened to be on the other team that day, and well, I had a ball, freaking whipped it at one of my friends, cracked him straight in the face, the ball bounced off, only to hit my other friend right in his face. I got a collateral headshot in dodgeball. By far my favorite elementary school moment. A while back I looked outside my house to see the sky was overcast, so I lifted up my hands and snapped my fingers and lightning flashed right in front of my house. I felt hella badass after that moment, and recently I thought back to that moment and decided to snap my fingers again, and then a power surge or a short outage took place in my house. This was late in the night, by the way. One day I will learn to master this power I have over electricity and exploit it for my own lazy benefits. Guy pulled a knife on me when I was a bit tipsy and waiting for a bus and demanded my wallet. Without thinking, I hit him in the jaw and knocked him out cold. Stole his knife and walked away. Still have the knife somewhere around here. What game had the biggest impact on your life and why? RuneScape took some more hours of my life than gaming is supposed to. Edit, I just checked, I got 575 days of gameplay, hehe. Super Mario Galaxy is the first game I truly fell in love with, really kicked off my gaming addiction. Dungeons and Dragons. I started playing when I was 10. Here we are 38 years later and I'm still playing D&D. Lots of my friendships revolve around the game. Club Penguin. It was my escape from the world for years. There I had friends and could lose myself to roleplays that were better than my real life. I'm better now, I have friends and like myself more, but for young me that was the escape I needed. What part of the human experience is of zero interest to you? Having a wedding. Getting married, yes, but I just can't see myself going through with the planning of a wedding and being happy about it even on the day. I do like going to other people's weddings though, it's the only time I feel comfortable in a dress. Going to clubs. High school reunions. Chasing money. I just want to have enough for a comfortable life. I can't be
believing in me and giving me this chance. Subscribe.
He said it.